Average Dad fans, welcome back to another video. As you can see, I'm in a different location just now. I wanted to put some time aside though, while on this family holiday, to talk about this. The Sony Xperia 1 Mark III. I know, there is a Mark IV out, but I didn't really want to spend over £1,200 on a Sony Xperia phone. And when I was searching Amazon Renewed, and I seen that they had an excellent condition, I mean it is pristine condition, Sony Xperia 1 Mark III for £600, I couldn't say no. Because at the end of the day, the specs, functionality, power, everything about this phone is worth way more than £600, even though it's a year old. So what I want to do is tell you about the phone and then compare its cameras to that of the iPhone 14 Pro Max in daylight, nighttime, and all of the lenses that each phone includes. Some of the results may surprise you, some won't. Let's go. This 4K 120Hz screen is an absolute dream to work with and view. From movies to YouTube clips to photos and video. Everything works so well on this screen.
It was really good. Everybody was there, realized, finally then, how big it is, how much it means.
Yeah.
Because I
yes, 4K 120Hz does hurt battery life, but this is a full day device. Some of the reviews I'd watched from last year, granted, had said about how the phone would struggle to last a full day. Well, I'll tell you now, this phone hasn't been charged since yesterday morning, and it's done all that photos and videos that you're about to see, and it's still got 21% remaining. So again, well over 24 hours of fairly heavy usage. I mean, there's minutes and minutes of video and dozens of photos, so super impressive. The Snapdragon 888 chip inside is, in my opinion, as much as anybody needs, and that goes on both ends. So the A14 Bionic chip is more than anybody will ever need. So the fact that we're on A16 now, okay, thanks Apple. And the same with the 8 Gen 1 Snapdragon chip. Thank you, but the 888 was enough. I don't game, so I know there's gamers watching this thinking you're talking nonsense, but I don't believe I am. There's very few games that throttle or drop frame rates with the Snapdragon 888 chip, other than Genshin Impact. I'm so fed up of hearing Genshin Impact. Every review video, oh, it handles Genshin. Who cares? Whatever happened to like Gran Turismo and Snake? Anyway, other key features about this phone are obviously its camera. So this has 3 lenses, not 4, but it uses the lenses quite well. It's got a time of flight sensor as well. So it does have its wide angle lens, its ultra wide, and a zoom lens. The zoom lens differs between 70mm and 105mm optically. The new Mark IV can go all the way in between those and keep it optical. Anything over 70 will be digital till you get to 105, then at 105 it's optical, and anything past that is digital. The wide angle lens of this is 24mm compared to the 26mm of the iPhone, so you get slightly more in the frame. You can choose, like lots of other things in the camera settings, when you go into manual mode, you can choose to have it as a fisheye ultra wide with and distortion, or just those typical straight lines you see from the ultra wide. For the purposes of the camera test, I kept it without the fisheye look because iPhone doesn't give you that. Now on the front, you do have a 4K selfie camera as well that, as you will see, produces great photos. Now, speaking of the camera as well, you can see on the side here, well, hopefully you can see on the side, there's a couple of extra buttons. One is a shutter, one is your fingerprint sensor, one is your Google Assistant button, and then you've got your volume up and down. Those are all on the right hand side of the device, and on the left hand side you have nothing apart from the SIM ejection area, but you don't need a tool. You can simply remove the SIM with just using your fingers, as long as you've got slightly longer fingernails than mine. I've noticed I did have to like pry it open with a little card earlier, but anyway, managed to get that open, and inside of there you will see dual SIM or expandable storage, something you do not get in most devices. One other thing about the hardware that you don't get on most devices, the headphone jack. Yes, there is a 3.5mm headphone jack somehow crammed into this ultra slim phone with its 400 milliamp hour battery, I believe it is. I need to check that. I know there's an asterisk beside my face right now telling me exactly what it is, but I think it's around 4400. And again, as I've already mentioned, or will mention soon, depending on which way I edit this video, it's a full day battery device. Now, Sony, as far as skin goes, this is running Android 12. It has been updated to that, and it will go to Android 14. They are given 3 years of software updates and 4 years security patches. So again, if you're buying a 1-year-old Sony Xperia phone for half the price of the brand new one, which I highly recommend people do if they're looking for a Sony phone, then at least you're safe in the knowledge that you're going to be safe and secure for at least the next couple of years. And the Android skin overlay, if anybody's used a stock Google phone like the Pixel, the Xperia's just like that. All stock Android and Google apps, from Maps to Google One, and everything in between. So for me, works perfectly. I do just want to take a minute to tell you as well, I am using for the first time ever a gimbal to record this. Because I was traveling, I didn't want to carry my big tripod, so I'm using the new DJI Osmo Mobile 6 gimbal. I think that's the name. I will be dropping an extensive review on this, but right now it's in follow me mode. So wherever I go, it will follow pretty damn accurately. If I come down here, yep. How impressive is that, guys? I'm super impressed, not just with that, but lots of other things about the gimbal impress me. And it means it's ultra portable as well, so I can take that on holiday like I am just now. Anyway, that was a tangent. Let's get back to the Sony phone. Other features about this device, other than the 4K screen, 120Hz, and full day battery life, and all the cameras, you've got wireless charging here, and wire charging, which is, they call super fast, but it's 30 watts. And to be honest, 30 watts, if anybody's using an iPhone, it's more than you're going to get in any iPhone. So 30 watts kind of works. You can go from not to fully charged in 1 hour with the cable, and it's 15 watts wireless, so you would imagine 2 hours, but it's not. It's under 2 hours. It's about 1 hour and 40 minutes to charge it wirelessly from dead. It does have reverse wireless charging as well, which is super handy if you've got wireless buds, like the Sony ones perhaps, which are super good buds. Sony WFMX 1004 something. Sony do always brand and name their accessories and devices something really odd. But anyway, so as I've mentioned quite a few times, let's look at photos from nighttime and daytime and videos, and tell me what you think at the end. Did any of the results surprise you? So in my opinion, the Sony Xperia 1 Mark III has super strong daylight photography in certain modes. Portrait mode goes to the iPhone every time. Video goes to the iPhone every time, especially obviously with that cinematic video that the Sony just can't do. However, daytime photography using the lenses of the Xperia 1, and that's the 70 and the 105mm zoom lenses as well, look really good. Really good. The fact that the Sony Xperia can optically go just a bit further than that of the 3x optical, the 14 Pro Max, works. However, the 48 megapixel RAW mode that the iPhone gives you, and yes, the Sony Xperia gives you a RAW mode at 12 megapixel, but those 48 megapixel RAW pictures just enable the user, if you can be bothered, to edit more, to crop in a bit more. The sharpness is better consistently on the iPhone, but we're talking like basic camera functions here. If you are, and this is exactly where the Sony phone is kind of geared towards, if you're a camera enthusiast in any way at all, you should be using the Sony Xperia 1 Mark III or Mark IV, I imagine, at any point you can. The manual mode you get, being able to change just on the fly, the ISO, the aperture, lots of different things, is perfect for any creator out there. I do kind of wish that they had worked on their video a bit more, and again, they might have for the Mark IV, but the Mark IV is only 1 year newer and twice the price of this. So, overall conclusion is Sony is an absolute enthusiast device, and the iPhone is the better camera phone. I think that's what I conclude. Anyway, thanks very much for watching. See you next time. Peace.